The Lucky Chief is a major gold and silver producer located in the Chief Mining District. This claim encompasses the Lucky Chief Mine and the Lucky Hobo. Both mines are noted for their gold and silver production. Manganese is a noted byproduct. Our surveyors reported fine gold visible in the main adit. Many large and exposed gold, silver, and copper lodes were noted in this mine. The main adit provides good access to the majority of the underground workings. There are 2 drifts that have been backfilled inside the mine. These drifts definitely continue past the blockage and can be easily cleared. Air is good in the mines and is accompanied with a stable, hard rock cut. There are numerous old vehicles on the claim, including an old international truck, a Chrysler, and a cute little Rambler at the upper shaft entrance. The headframe was stripped and destroyed during reclamation efforts carried out by the state of Nevada. The shaft was foamed and covered, but is accessible from the lower adit. There are a series of other small cuts west of the main workings. There is excellent access to the claim on established and relatively flat roads. A 4-wheel drive vehicle is recommended. However, in ideal conditions, a 2-wheel drive with good clearance can make it to the claim site. The claim is only 8 miles from Caliente, which has all the needed amenities, including a hardware store. This is an ideal claim for a few individuals to start up under casual use guidelines. There is visible gold in the main adit that could be easily crushed and sluiced for extraction. Once sufficient capital has been raised, a notice of operation can be filed, and the property could support a full-time mining endeavor.
Hi, Corey with Gold Rush Expeditions. Today we're in the Lucky Chief Mine in Lincoln County, Nevada. This is a large mine that has historically been worked for gold and likely copper. Copper did not really show up on the maps, but when you look at what's going on, we're seeing a lot of copper. There's a lot of stuff going on out here. The biggest thing, of course, the biggest feature of any mine is the mine itself. So we're going to show you what is inside the Lucky Chief. We're going to show you gold, poof, that is right in the walls because that's what you all want. We're going to show you outside where there's history. We're going to show you old cars. We're going to show you tipped over head frames. We're going to show you stuff that the BLM has destroyed on the upside because they think there's no value to mines. But the best thing that you could do is come out here, pull some gold out, and say, ooh, look, there's still gold in the ground. So, with that, let's scoot into the Lucky Chief, take a look, and then we'll scoot on out and show you what's up top. No, that's straight up gold.
Is that so I'm not totally crazy? No. I'm like looking at it, taking my light off.
Pull your light off.
It still shines, like, so I'm not crazy.
Let's see. That is gold right there. That's the good shiny stuff that you like. Gold, gold, gold. So you see the fractures right there. If you're coming in here to mine, you take your little hammer and you would take right along these little cracks, break that out, take that outside, crush it up, get the gold out, repeat. What you see on the sides here is remnants that they're blasting. The sides of the mine are called ribs. Ribs. The top of the mine is called the spine. You can see where these roots are, and then you can look back down here and see these large slabs of rock that have come off. Those slabs have broken off just because they're so close and the roots are moving the rocks around. Yeah, I mean, you can see the vein where the water's coming through, and that's almost a hanging wall. And then you can see far in the back there where it goes off to a little face. But we're going to stay out of this because we can already see things have come down, and it's probably not the safest little spot in here. See these big cracks? That lens that at some point they're going to drop pretty quickly, and if you're in here, it might be on your head. Dead end here indicates that behind us may be a lot more working. So, what do you think, Jessica? How's your
more
goal?
workings?
Yeah, that way.
Oh, I'm guaranteeing it. We're gonna go find out.
Okay.
Pretty awesome so far. There's a little mucked tunnel, like we saw yesterday.
So, like we discussed, these can be done for numerous reasons. It could be just that they cut back there a little bit and didn't find anything they were interested in, so instead of taking a whole bunch of extra rock out, they just packed it up in that tunnel. It's also common that they would, back in the 40s, when their mines were being taken over, the miners would fill these in so that nobody else could come into their mine workings until they got back from the war, until it was legal to mine gold again. It is what it is, so let's continue on. What you got there?
It's mostly just quartz crystals. But you know, something shiny reflects my eye. I have to stop and look. Oh, and a face.
What's a face, Jessica? Like a smile?
This is a face.
Where?
Right here.
Oh, it is a face.
This is the face. Where a mine ends, you've hit the face.
So the end of the drift is a face.
Yeah.
Huh. Contrary to the lies that you will be told, dynamite after 10, 15, 20 years is completely inert. Now, I'd be more than willing to look at this with somebody who claims they know. BLM and Forest Service just like to say, oh, dynamite can just explode, yet they really have no basis for that. It's just like magically it explodes. However, if you talk to miners, they will tell you how fast it goes inert and why you need to use it quickly. I don't know how I walked right past this, but you can see, oh, right here, look where they've worked all this along. This is going to be some good gold ore for you to work on this little body. See where the vein goes down there, but see how wide it gets right here where it's been worked. This is going to be a good place for you to start. If you're lazy and you don't want to get on a ladder, you can come in and probably move all this rock right here. You've probably got 2 or 3 tons of rock right here, which you look at and say, there's no way that's 2 or 3 tons. Yeah, that sure as shit is.
Rock's
That's
heavy.
a lot of rock. And when it's mineralized, it's even heavier. Okay,
Okay.
that is the Lucky Chief from the inside. We'll make our way out. So we're up at the top of the Lucky Chief here, and I'm going to just point out a few things to you of what's going on, give you an idea so that as you're sitting at your computer, you can look at this, and when you buy this, you'll get up here and go, oh, I know exactly what he was talking about. Now there's something kind of bummer here. This is what we at Gold Rush fight all the time, and that is the destruction of your mining history. What you can see behind me here is an old head frame. This was probably built up, you know, probably back as far as 1900, if not a little farther. It was used by the miners to get their ores up and down. Well, sometime in the last 10, 15 years, your wonderful Bureau of Land Management and Forest Service came through and decided, hey, we can't have people just out here looking at history and shit. They could die. Nobody really dies, but that is the theory. So anyway, they send a contractor out here to do the cheapest job possible to make sure that there's not a shaft out here for you to get into. So what they've done, they've come through here probably with just a small bobcat. This head frame was in the way, I'm sure. You know, you don't want to have just this head frame over a shaft. So knock it over, kick it over, don't worry about the history. We don't care. And then you come on over here and you can see where kind of the bobcat has come through. Might even have been a small dozer. They worked their way through here, and your shaft was probably right around in here. Now today, your nice little contractor guys, you see that foam crap that you get at Home Depot to fill in creases and stuff? They basically had an industrial version of that. They'll put down some chicken wire, they'll put that crap foam in there, and then they'll put some dirt over it. Now I'm sure that is just awesome for the environment, and I'm sure it will never ever fail. But we really don't care about that because we're thinking about right now on a budget. So that's the bad part. The good part is, what you can see around here is there is still a ton of ores. So you've got gold ores here. When they've moved everything with their little, you know, their little bobcats, their little whatever, they've kicked up all the rock and everything else that got covered up and buried over the years while the miners were working out, and just tailings and tailings. So, I mean, we're sitting on just there's probably a few thousand tons of tailings that are sitting right here that you could work through and get gold out of. We're up here at what might have been the Assay House at one point. What makes us kind of say that is there is a lot of core samples that are up here. With the core samples, that indicates everything that was coming out of the mine was probably coming up here to be looked at. Sometimes you would find a lot of cupels and a lot of where they're actually smelting off. Those are actually a pretty hot commodity to find, and you can see that a lot of people have been through this. So if there was any cupels and little crucibles they've probably already been taken, but this is a good indicator that they were measuring out some of their values here. What you can see right here is that this was a much larger building than anything that you can kind of get a feel for right now. These kind of window frames, you can see they're big, they're burly, they're industrial. This was a large mining operation that was going on, and this is probably a pretty good sized building that was doing a good bit of processing and showing some values up here. And what I'm standing on is a bunch of high-grade ore here. This very much correlates to where the Assay House is, because this is where they would have brought the best ores. They would have sampled them out over there, and then they would have brought those values down and said, hey, we're in the mine at this, 600 feet, and we've got 3 ounces of gold per ton. What else is interesting and shows that there's a lot of value up here is you can see these little holes. Nowadays, the metal detector technology is pretty sweet. So you can take a metal detector and run over a pile like this, and maybe you find something like this bad boy that's just loaded up with gold and silver. Your metal detector is gonna flip out, and you're gonna dig, and you're gonna go, oh my goodness, maybe there's gold doubloons under here. That's windy. Whew. Fact is, there's not gold doubloons, there is gold. So that's what you're seeing, that's what you're digging up, and likely that's what somebody came up and dug out here. Some rocks, and they were probably super confused about why their metal detector was going off. So we're wrapping up to Lucky Chief here. As you can see, I am mere seconds away from death. Deep in a mine, I could die at any given time. No, I'm really not. What I'm showing you here is just on our way out. These are some open cuts that are out here. There is some really rich, beautiful ore that is just sitting here. You can see the metallics sitting right on the top of it. You can see some quartz coming in. Super good stuff. All around this claim, we found a lot of good color. We've seen gold in the mine in large chunks. So yeah, this is a good spot for somebody to come up and work. You're not too close to civilization, but you're not terribly far away from some of your amenities. This would be a great spot to come out with a couple of buddies, work on the weekends, maybe get a crusher and a washer, and just pull some gold out on the weekends and enjoy some beer and cigar time with your friends, plus make some money. Be sure to check out the history and more pictures of this mine on our website, www.goldrushexpeditions.com. Also, while you're there, take a look at some of the other amazing properties we have all across the western states. Montana, Arizona, Colorado, you name it, we've got it. If you're looking to mine, this is the place to be. For Gold Rush Expeditions, I'm Corey. We will see you at the next site.